For those of us living comfortably in the developed world, it can be easy to forget just how unusually ordinary some of our comforts are. Indeed, one such modern comfort that inspired me to create this video was when I noticed a purple colored tissue box sitting across from me at a friend's house. Practically any color nowadays can be created with relative ease thanks to the advances in modern chemistry and manufacturing. But if you were to tell someone living in the time of the Romans, or even to someone living a mere 2 centuries ago, that we would be using purple on disposable tissue boxes, they would be awestruck at such a concept. In the ancient world, purple dye, commonly referred to as Tyrian purple, could only be made from the mucus of certain snails residing along the eastern Mediterranean Sea and the Moroccan coast. While this highly sought-after product was produced in a couple different areas around the Mediterranean, the most famous of these purple workshops and the place that would give this color its name was Tyre. There are 2 main ways of extracting the mucus from these snails. The dye can be extracted sustainably by antagonizing the snails and collecting the mucus released from the snail's defense mechanism, similar to how a skunk releases that nasty scent when it's being attacked. The other method is simply smashing the snails and collecting the mucus from the remains. I know which method the snails probably preferred. This may sound rather straightforward, but the process was anything but that. The historian David Jacobi notes in his work, Silk Economics and Cross-Cultural Artistic Interaction, Byzantium, the Muslim World, and the Christian West, quote, 12,000 snails of Murex brandaris yield no more than 1.4 grams of pure dye, enough to color only the trim of a single garment. It could take hundreds of thousands or even millions of these snails to dye a single piece of Tyrian purple clothing. We best see purple's ostentatious status reflected in Roman society. Purple was considered an elite of the elite status symbol reserved for the highest rungs of Roman society. During the Roman Empire, this was notably expressed in the saying, "born in the purple," which referred to a child born to a reigning emperor. Purple was so valued as a status symbol that laws were enacted punishing those who wore the color and didn't belong to that privileged Roman elite, with punishment up to and including the death penalty. We can best see purple's immense value in Emperor Diocletian's 4th century price control edict. In this edict, 1 pound of Tyrian purple dye costs 150,000 denarii, or roughly 3 pounds of gold, which puts the value of 1 pound of Tyrian purple dye at 148,787 Canadian dollars at the time of creating this video. Tyrian purple was, pound for pound, the most valuable commodity of this era. As time marched forward, purple would, till around the 16th century, maintain its image of royalty across Europe, but changing preferences and economic realities would begin to rival this color's esteemed reputation. It would be the Spanish colonization of the New World that would mark Tyrian purple's decline as the apex color of royalty and wealth. The Spanish would discover, through the learnings of the Aztecs, that certain cochineal insects could be crushed and processed to provide various colors, including a bright reddish purple dye. The demand for this new method of dye production was immense, with it becoming colonial Spain's 3rd most valuable export behind gold and silver. The final death blow to Tyrian purple's unique status as a royal color would come during the Industrial Revolution. In 1856, a chemist named William Henry Perkin would, like many chemistry-related discoveries, discover a synthetic purple dye formula by accident. This discovery by William would allow for the mass production of the color purple, making purple widely available and easy to produce for mass consumption. Nowadays, purple is as ubiquitous as any other color, thanks to the marvels of chemistry and modern manufacturing. The color has had quite the fall from grace compared to its heyday as quite literally being worth more than its weight in gold. And the royalty the color once denoted is largely forgotten in the public imagination, with purple now consigned to the common status afforded to every other color, and that's not a bad thing. A sight and luxury once afforded to only a select few can now be enjoyed by practically anyone nowadays, and that, in my opinion, is a good thing.